At the end of life, what really matters is not what we bought but what we built, not what we got but what we shared, not our competence but our character, and not our success, but our significance. Live a life that matters. Live a life of love. Saber Samaan was born on May 8, 1944 in Shubra in northern Cairo, Egypt. There, he grew up with 5 siblings, Gamal, Nabil, Atef, Phoebe and Rawis, under the watchful gaze of his parents, Marie and Sedki. In his youth, he was a natural athlete who enjoyed running and playing soccer. His more intellectual hobbies of chess and tinkering fueled a love of science and ultimately led him to pursue a career in the pharmaceutical sciences. He attended Cairo University, graduating with a bachelor's degree in pharmacy and pharmaceutical chemistry in May 1967. After graduation, Saber worked as a pharmacist in Old Cairo. He later found employment with the Egyptian National Research Center as the vice chairman of their pharmacology department. In 1973, he met and married his first wife, Semia, and moved with her to Mahdi, a suburb of Cairo. A few years later, they were blessed with daughters, Sarah and Sylvie. After completing a year-long fellowship at Oxford, Saber re-enrolled at Cairo University and obtained a master's degree in pharmaceutical sciences with a focus in pharmacology on February 23, 1977. That same year, the Samaan family flew across the Mediterranean to settle in London, England. He continued his studies at Chelsea College in the University of London, earning his PhD in biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics. Saber soon began working for the World Health Organization in Chelsea, where he won an award in 1977. Not long after, the Samaan family packed up and moved to Tampa, Florida in 1979, where Saber began working at the Veterans Hospital. He also conducted clinical research related to the treatment of asthma at the University of South Florida Medical School. Saber became a Rattler in 1982 as an assistant professor of pharmaceutics, moving to Tallahassee, Florida. He had an auspicious start, winning back-to-back teaching awards in 1983 and 1984. He became a naturalized citizen of the United States on June 18, 1986. Single at this time, his brothers Nabil and Gamal introduced him to Eva, a woman who lived near their bakery and ice cream shop in Athens, Greece. They married a short time thereafter and Eva moved to Tallahassee. Soon after, they welcomed their son John, who would follow in his father's footsteps, graduating from FAMU College of Pharmacy with a Doctor of Pharmacy degree in 2012. Single again, Saber met Donna, who he married in 1996. They soon welcomed a son, Matthew. He also somehow found time to work for NASA in the summer of 1988, where he received an award for his work. Other highlights of his long and distinguished career include receiving 7 research grants, publishing 15 scientific papers, contributing to 2 scientific manuals, presenting at 13 scholarly seminars, and conducting 27 live continuing education programs. On his downtime, whenever that was, he would video chat with his siblings living in Egypt and Greece and his nieces and nephews around the world. Saber enjoyed playing poker and chess, and was a ruthless opponent at the latter, dispatching those of lower skill with ease, as the creator of this video can personally attest. He loved to eat and spend time with his colleagues, his friends in the Egyptian community, and his family. His other hobbies included growing roses and writing poetry. He loved life, and lived it with gusto. These days, the Samaan family spans the globe, from Cairo to Athens, New Jersey to Japan. Today and always, we honor a giant of a man, both literally and figuratively. Saber had a hearty laugh, a big heart, and made a substantial impression on all the lives he touched. He will be deeply missed by all who knew him.
رسالة إلى روحك الجميلة الطاهرة الصافية. بتذكرك بكل خير ومحبة في كل مواقف حياتنا. كنت السند والعون. فراقك صعب علينا، هتوحشنا كلنا يا صبار. الحياة من غيرك مملة، ومفيش أي شيء بيفرحنا إلا لمتنا مع بعض وضحكتك الصافية وأنت بتقول لنا هنتجمع في اليونان مع بعض، لكن ربنا أراد يا رب وإنك تكون في مكان أفضل ترتاح من تعبك ومن ألمك ونتقابل عن قريب.
حبيبي الصبار، مش قادر أودعك ومش قادر أصدق إن أنا هودعك. أنا ببكيك يوميا وبحب أبعت لك رسالة على الماسنجر يوميا أسلم عليك. مش عايز أصدق إني مش هشوفك تاني ومش هسمعك تاني. مع السلامة يا حبيبي، مع السلامة. أخوك نبيل.
أخي وحبيبي وصديقي دكتور صبري، لقد كنت سندا لكل الناس، مسيحي ومسلم، ونصائحك لن أنساها. أتمنى لقائك بإذن الله في الآخرة. مع السلامة يا أحلى دكتور، مع السلامة يا حبيبي يا صديقي يا صبري.
عمو صابر، أنا لسه لغاية دلوقتي مش قادر أصدق إن أنت مشيت. كلامك وضحكك وهزارنا مع بعض لسه بيدور في دماغي. مش قادر أصدق أو أقتنع إن أنت مشيت، بس أتمنى إن أنت تكون سامعني. تجمع النهاردة ده ما هو إلا حصاد سنين حياتك على الأرض، حصاد محبة أو علم أو مساعدة كنت أنت بتقدمهم لكل الموجودين. أنا متأكد إن كل واحد موجود هنا ليه موقف أو مواقف تشهد بده. يمكن مفيش كلام كتير قوي يتقال يعبر عن اللي جوه الواحد فعلا بجد، بس أنا ليا عزاء أو ليا رجاء إن أنت تكون دلوقتي أحسن ومرتاح. بس ده كل اللي أنا عايز أقوله لغاية لما نتلاقى. سلام يا صاحبي، سلام.
أنكل صبري أو أنكل صابر، مش هيفرق الاسم، المهم أنت أبو ضحكة جنان. أنت اللي ضحكتك كانت جميلة وشكلك جميل وأسلوبك جميل، كلك خفة دم وحب واهتمام مع كل الناس، مع كل الجيل، مع الجيل بتاعك وولادهم وولاد ولادهم اللي هم ولادي. كنت بتوزع محبة واهتمام وسؤال على الكل. كنت بتشوف كل واحد محتاج ايه وما بتتأخرش عليه. محتاج سؤال، محتاج اهتمام، محتاج نصيحة، محتاج اي حاجة. انا شفت منك محبة واهتمام. فاكراك من وانا صغيرة، من وانا طفلة. كنت دايما تسألني وتقولي بنتك ليه بتبقى التانية او التالتة، ليه مش الاولى؟ كان نفسي اقولك ان هي طلعت الاولى. انا بهدي الميدالية الذهبية اللي هي طلعت بيها الاولى دي ليك انت ولاهتمامك ولحبك. مش عارفة اقولك ايه، مفيش كلام يوفيك. انت مأثر فينا، مأثر جوه قلب كل واحد فينا. انت سايب ذكرى جميلة عند كل الناس. انا بحبك من وانا صغيرة لغاية اخر يوم بحبك.
أنكل صبري، أنا هقول لك كلمة واحدة مش هكتر لأن فيها كل المعاني. أنت شخصية حلوة جدا وتتحب من أول ما حد يقابلك. يعني أنا أول ما قابلتك لقيت فيك الشخص الجميل البشوش اللي قلبه طيب ويحس بكل اللي حواليه، ودايما كنت بتحاول ان انت تجمع كل حبايبك وتخليهم كلهم مبسوطين وتديهم يعني وقت جميل من الضحك والفرفشة والانبساط، وما كنتش بتخلي اي حد موده وحش، كنت بتطلع اي حد من المود الوحش ده بتحوله لمود حلو وكويس ومبسوط. حتى لو هو في مشكلة بتحاول ان انت تبسط له المشكلة وما يشيلش هم. واحنا كنا نتمنى فعلا زي ما كنت متفق مع اشرف ان احنا نجيلك ونقعد ونقضي وقت حلو معاك، لكن إرادة ربنا ما أرادتش إن احنا نقابلك. لكن كلنا بنحبك وكلنا محدش هيقدر ينساك، لأن انت سايب جوانا ذكريات حلوة جميلة، وانت مؤثر في كل واحد شفته، حتى لو شفته مرة واحدة بقلبك الطيب الجميل وضحكتك الجميلة كنت بتخلي ان اي حد اول ما يشوفك يتعلق بيك على طول، واحنا مش هننساك ابدا. I love you so much and rest in peace Uncle Sabri. Goodbye.
My name is Basma, and I'm a long-life friend of Saber and his family since July 1969. We first met at a church youth conference in Alexandria at Beit Salam, which translates House of Peace, conference center by the seaside. One of my earliest recollections of that handsome young man was when we were all in an upstairs conference room where the services were held, and whilst the congregation was singing hymns, I noted that Saber always chose a seat by the window where he had a clear, fantastic view of the sea and miles of white sand. As the congregation sang, there was Saber looking out of the window, gazing at the sea and moving his lips. When I got to know him at the conference, I asked him why he was talking to himself while the rest of us were singing hymns. He replied that he was reciting poetry and introduced me then to the famous Lebanese poet Nizar Kibbani, whom I later learned to appreciate for his sensitive and artistic poetry. That was the beginning of a long life special friendship that has impacted both of our lives in many ways. Saber was born and bred into a very godly Christian family, and I had the joy and honor to know his parents especially well and his siblings who adored him and on whom he doted. Today, I don't want to dwell on memories important as they are, but I want to share with you what I'm certain that Saber knew well and has come to believe, the things in life that really matter. Someone said life is like a banquet hall. Inside is light, fire, warmth, and feasting, but outside it is cold and dark. A sparrow flies in through a window at one end and out through the other end. That is what life is like. At birth, we emerge from the unknown, and for a brief while, we are here with a fair amount of comfort and happiness, but then we fly out into the cold, dark, unknown future. For the believer, the end of life on earth is the beginning of a glorious life with Christ in heaven. Good night here just means good morning over there. Christ's resurrection guarantees ours. I would like to end with a reading from St. Paul's first letter to the Thessalonians, chapter 4, verses 13 to 18, entitled The Hope of Resurrection. And now, dear brothers and sisters, we want you to know that what will happen to the believers who have died, so you will not grieve like people who have no hope. For since we believe that Jesus died and was raised to life again, we also believe that when Jesus returns, God will bring back with him the believers who have died. We tell you this directly from the Lord. We who are still living when the Lord returns will not meet him ahead of them who have died, those who have died. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a commanding shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God. First, the believers who have died will rise from the graves. Then, together with them, we who are still alive and remain on the earth will be caught up in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. Then we will be with the Lord forever. So encourage each other with these words. Thank you.